Hi, Mr. Godfrey. Oh, that was weird. Hi, Mr. Godfrey here. We're going to look at translating some English phrases into math. And this is really something that's kind of crucial to understand, and that is this, is that math is really just another language. English isn't a language, science is a language. I guess we say that. Math is a language, Spanish, I meant to say, is a language. German, Chinese, whatever you want to pick out, they're all languages. And in different languages, you use different symbols to represent different words. The order of the symbols are different sometimes, but really we're trying to convey the same idea when we're using these different words. Whatever word you use, whether it's in math, whether it's in Spanish or German or whatever, if you're thinking about the idea of eyes, let's say, you're still trying to communicate the same idea, these things right here, but we use different words in the different languages. And those who know different languages are able to communicate with more people and are able to understand what other people are talking about because they've learned the language. And there's a syntax to language, there's an order to language, and math is really the same way. There's things in the English language that when you see them in English, you want to translate them into the math equivalent. So for instance, if we had the word two in English, oops, sorry about that, when you have the word two in English, the mathematical equivalent of that is this symbol here. Now we're still talking about the same thing, two. And whether I use the English phrase or the math phrase, math symbol, we're still talking about the same thing. And that's really all that we want to get across in this lesson. And so what we want to do is practice translating some English phrases into math, because that's really one of the key skills that you need, is being able to translate English phrases into math. This will help with your word problem skills. It will help in setting up problems the correct way, and then using the symbols beyond that is something that you get better at as you use them. So we want to translate. So some things we want to look at, there are some words that mean add in math. So there's certain symbols that when you or words that when you see them you want to think this symbol, like when you see the word add, or if you see the word altogether, that usually indicates this is the symbol that you want to use plus. And there are more than that, but we'll just look at those right now. The minus symbol you'll see most of the time is the difference. When you see the word difference, that means you'll want to use this symbol. This is the English word. This would be the math symbol. Or another phrase is, or word is less. And when you see less, you want to use the subtraction symbol. When you're talking about the multiplication symbol, we usually like the word times. You hear that a lot. 4 times 7 means you multiply, or you use this symbol. Or another word we use a lot is product. Whenever you want the product of something, that means you're going to multiply those things together, or you're going to use this symbol right here. Divided by, usually one of our main math words is quotient. What are the quotient of two numbers? So when you see quotient, you want to use the divided symbol, or when you simply see the word divided. Now there are a lot more words other than this, and we'll take a look at those in class or talk about more, but these are some basic ones. Now there is one last thing I want you to look at, and that is one other word, excuse me, is the word than. Okay, this is an extremely important word, so I hope you really get this down. Than is what's been called, in some textbook, is called a syntax word. And syntax refers to the order of the words. Okay, in English you'll notice that usually when we're talking about a noun and adjectives, the adjective, we write the adjective before the noun. So when we say blue eyes, we're talking about blue, that's the adjective, and then eyes are the noun. Now when you look at Spanish or other languages, a lot of other languages, they put the adjective after the noun. Okay, so I can't say it in Spanish, I'm not going to, but if you translated Spanish word for word from left to right as you read it, it would say eyes blue. So in English we say blue eyes, that's how we write it. And in Spanish they write eyes blue. That's how they write it, that's how they say it. So when you're translating from Spanish into math, or excuse me, Spanish into English, let's say, or English into Spanish, you have to remember to reverse those words when you make the translation. Otherwise the person you're talking to will think you're just saying things out of order. Now the word than is an order word in math. And when you see the word than in math, that means you want to switch the order of the two things that are on either side of the symbol. Let me show you a quick example of what I mean, and then we'll do some sample problems. So, for example, let me get rid of this real quick for it. If I said, let's say 4, oops, I was going to write the symbol and then I was going to write the word and I couldn't do anything. So let's say I have the phrase 4 less 7, okay, and I want to translate that from English into math. So I read it from left to right, so I translate from left to right. The English word, math symbol. English word, math symbol. English word, math symbol. So 4 less 7 in English translate to 4 minus 7 in math language. Okay? Now, let's just add one word. Okay, so let's take this out and let's do this. 4 less than 7. Okay? So 4, math symbol. Less, math symbol. Here's that word than. Circle that in your mind for right now, and then 7. Now what this word means here is I have to take this and these two I have to switch. So the 4's got to go here and the 7. So actually this translated should be 7 minus 4. It's still 4 less 7, but the word than means I have to switch the order. Okay, so it's a syntax word because it changes the order of the word. So whenever you see the word than, whether it's more than, meaning an addition problem, less than, subtraction problem, you'll want to make sure you reverse the symbol when you're talking, or reverse the order of those, because 4 minus 7 is one answer, 7 minus 4 is a different answer. So again, how you translate it makes a huge difference. Alright, so let's take a look at a few worksheet examples here. This is what I want to do, and it's not there. Where is it? Okay, just okay, here we go. Here are a few examples. I hope you can see that. Well, I'll zoom in on it. So here is 10 increased by 8. So we work from left to right, doing one at a time. So 10, it's already in its math symbol. Increased, what kind of operation is that? That's when we're increasing, we're adding. Increased by 8. So this would be the English phrase, this would be the math equivalent. Okay, let's do the next one. The sum, that's an addition word, and then 8 comes first, so 8 goes first in math, 6 comes second, so 6 comes second. So notice that the order of the words in English and the order of the symbols matches the order in math. The only time we're looking for that is if we have the word then. The sum, that's an addition word, of what? T, so T comes first, and 10. Okay, here's the next one. The quotient, that means divided by, R and 7, R divided by 7, is greater than or equal to. Now this is an inequality here. This is a greater than or equal to, and then 38. Okay. And again, notice we're just going from left to right. Left to right in English, left to right in math. Okay, the sum, that's an addition word, of y comes first, and 5. Then is an equal word, is less than 6. Oh, actually, we got to read further. I jumped the gun on that one. Is less than, that's an inequality word, so that's going to be is less than 6. So that would be the English translation. Okay, up here, oh, I kind of went down when they go across, right? Sum, again, 7 and 11, English math. 6 increased, that's an addition word, by 11. 8 less, oh, now there's that than word, n. So I need to reverse the order, so n minus 8. Okay, 8 less than n, so 8 less than n. So make sure you watch that word. So W decreased, that's a subtraction word, by 7 is less than or equal to, so less than or equal to 40. Okay, so there are some practice examples, and we'll do some more when you come to class. The key thing to remember here is this. You translate from left to right, from English to math. So if it's 10 comes first in the example in English, then 10 comes first in math. So left to right, except for the word than. That's the one word you have to remember. When you see the word than, that switches anything. And then just use the appropriate math symbol for the English word, and your translation is pretty easy. So write your questions, and we'll see you in class.